everyone, to another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. I'm Tom Ahles, President of Growth with AIME, our wonderful association. Today, honor and privilege to sit with my guy, Jason Turner, broker owner of Navigator Home Loans. I think everybody knows Jason. If you don't, like most of the people I have on here, you should get to know him. Jason's one of those guys that if you pick up the phone and call him and ask him for help, he's there to help you. He's all in on the broker channel. Jason, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks, brother. Good to be here.
So I know, obviously, you and I have a background together, both serving in vetted VA. I think you and I talked a little bit here before the show that you're roughly 90% VA business currently, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So what was the calling for that? Why was serving veterans something that's important to you?
I just really like working with them and serving them. I just find that the loan product itself is enjoyable to me because it's so flexible. So
Yes.
Anything that makes my job easier and gets all these added benefits of helping other people out. That's what draws me to it.
Are you a veteran yourself? I don't recall.
I'm not, but I'm married to one.
Beautiful. I like that. That's a good qualifying aspect. So,
Yeah.
how long, just curious, how long have you been in the industry?
Oh, about 10 years now. Yeah.
When did you open Navigator Home Loans or Navigator Mortgage Brokers?
2020 is when I started.
Right in the height of COVID, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So the story there was like I started the business, in the background, right? As I was working for another company and I was scared like anyone else was because I didn't know what was going to happen. And then one day I just, wasn't really happy with one of the situations I was dealing with. And I was like, you know what? F it. I'm just going. So yeah.
Go for it. And you haven't looked back. I mean, to me, you've always seemed like the mortgage broker type because one, I know you care about your clients. I know I've got the chance to meet your wife too. You guys just recently got married, correct?
Yeah, that's right. February.
So congratulations on that. We got to spend some time together at summer camp last year. That was an absolute blast. But thank you for being here, right? I think to me, one of the things that I'm so thankful for with AIME is it gives us a chance to connect with other broker owners, other loan originators, other people that are just in our specific industry. And the goal for me with this show is, let's give a couple of tips. Let's talk about what it is that we're doing that is working well. So, for you you're a consistent producer. You're always doing good business. How are you finding your business, right? You do a ton of VA. You have some other things that you've been focusing on, like the VA one-time close construction, DSCR. Tell me, how are you going about those conversations to generate new connections and new relationships to feed you?
So with VA OTC, I'm actually running ads for that right now, which is kind of out of my typical business, book. I've been traditionally just 100% referral, but I'm running an ad right now because it's so niche that it's actually been pretty productive for me. So I get good leads that way. And then with DSCR, honestly, like still a lot of agents don't know about it, and so it's nice to have that conversation with investors. I mean, if they can get that product out and I can close that deal, I want every one of those loans basically, because loans are kind of tough to come by, in the current market. And then with hard money, I actually just started getting into this, and actually personally to do some of the flipping because I have some connections in construction, but also, just to kind of, again, niche out into something else where it's not really talked about, amongst a lot of lenders in my community, at least. So
yeah, I think that is a way for everybody. I've noticed more and more people diving into hard money. I know I talked with Chris Rademacher yesterday, and she's all in on it. I know a lot of people are really focusing on it because there's a need for it, and it's a good niche. So let's talk a little bit about the ads that you're doing for VA one-time close construction. Before I get directly into that, I got to ask you, where are you sending them? Like, who are you finding in the broker channel that's the best when it comes to completing a VA one-time close construction to where you can guarantee that you're creating a referable experience? And what tips do you have for mortgage brokers that are looking to start originating that product, where they need to dive in and make sure that they're educated enough that they're not creating a mess compared to creating a success story?
UWM, man. UWM is where I'm sending all my VA OTC at the moment because they make it easy. They did a fantastic webinar on it that had training that was just very detailed. And it's something that I had actually had to look over repeatedly to make sure that I didn't trip over myself during the process, because the clients who want that have tons of questions. And so I needed to, obviously learn it as best I could. It's not like I've done, 100 of these like I have with VAs, a regular VA,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, just studying up on the product and knowing like all the nuances of it, like it really helps have that conversation to help with conversion. And to be fair, not all of them do OTC. A lot of them will just flat out say, "Hey, I don't know what I want to do. I saw
Yeah.
this product. Talk to me about it." And I do. And then sometimes it works out, and then sometimes they buy just straight VA
Yeah,
loan without
pre-existing, or
VA
even
loan.
one that's builder finance, but you're capturing the lead by leading with education, right?
Right, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then as far as advertising for it, where are you doing that? Are you doing it on Google, Facebook?
Google.
Google?
Yep.
Man, that's great. I mean, there's such a need for it because, one, even though UWM offers it, not many have spent the time to dive in to feel confident enough to be an expert, right? So it speaks for your values and caring enough and understanding, like, okay, I can advertise something, but I better know how to answer these questions. I better know contingencies. I better know draw periods, construction times. There's a lot that go into them. I personally have never done one. So it's one of those things I always make an effort when I learn from my family members with AIME, like, hey, what are you doing? Well, this is what I'm doing. It works. It's great that it works, but you got to have the knowledge. And I think that's one of the takeaways that I got from you. It's like we have the support to do the education, to learn about it. And we have an awesome partner that will help us facilitate that product and make us look good. So what advice would you share to someone who wants to diversify their product knowledge and offerings? What would you say for a broker out there that maybe, like you, 90% VA, and we talked about one of them, but what are the steps that you would suggest if someone was looking and say they've never done refinances, or they've never done purchases, or they've never done VA? What are some good resources for our AIME members that they should look at when they're trying to diversify?
Honestly, like my best resource is other brokers, because I reach out to people who, just like you said, are doing it already, and I pick their brain and I dive into it, of course, guidelines and knowing the process. But then I always hit up my friends and be like, "Hey, what do we do here?" I can't find in the guidelines or whatever. And then, they give me the information. So honestly, that's my answer. It's other brokers who help me
I
out.
like it. I'm the same way. I do my own research enough to know to where I'm not wasting their time. But I know in our industry, you got Sean Hammond, who does a ton of VA one-time close. He's one of those guys. You can call him and ask him a question. Lots of different brokers in our industry that have specifics that they've been masters at that you can leverage through our community. So that's great. Really simple. I think, to me, I always try to make these short and sweet. And to me, we've touched on a couple of really good things. How do you diversify? What do you need to do to diversify? And who do you call if you need help? And I think you covered it all.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit the nail right on the head there.
Anything else that you'd like to share with our team members? Because this is grow and get it, right? I call our AIME team, all like brokers to me are team members. What would you like to say before we finish this call? Is there anything specific that you're doing, or that you could give them advice that's helped you to reach the level of success you have as a broker owner?
Yeah, so I'll share something I did marketing wise that I actually stole this idea from my wife, who's a realtor. She had the idea of handing out coffee or Starbucks gift cards. So I bought a bunch of them, like a lot, right? And
Yeah.
then after if I had a great transaction with them and I really want their business, I actually send them a bunch of them and say, "Hey, use these for client meetings. Let me know how I can help you out." And I literally just mail them, and I'm like, where do I mail these? Do I mail them to your address, or is there something specific, because not all realtors go to the office? And
Yeah.
I was shocked how many gave me their personal address, and they were like, "So you send it here." So I did, and the response I got from that was actually very, very good, and it's good for relationship building and a way to stand out. So it's kind of a thank you marketing tactic that I've employed.
Yeah. It's great. You know what it takes to be able to do that?
Money.
effort and execution. Yeah, money, but we're talking $5, right? I mean, it's not, we're not talking a $50,000 marketing campaign. It's about execution, right? To me, those are the very simple things that you can do to help build your sphere of influence. The more you build your sphere of influence, they know, like, I hate to say this, there's a lot of us that are really good at this job. So how do the people that are really good at this job still take market share? And you hit it on the head, doing something that somebody else isn't doing, right? I'm going to take the time and effort. I'm going to say thank you, get them a cup of coffee, and I appreciate you giving me the time. How many people will do that? 1%, if that, right? So definitely an executor. Jason, I really appreciate your time today. Appreciate your involvement with AIME, Vetted VA, everything that you do to help the community around you. You, your wife, Jan. I said it right. It's not Jen, right? I want to say Jen. It's Jan, though, right?
Jan, yeah.
Okay, good. I got it right. Yeah. You're just awesome people. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have you in my circle of what I would call friends. If there's ever anything we can do for you or any of the other brokers in this industry that are watching, reach out to us. We are a community that's here to help each other. Brokers are better together. I believe it. I know Jason believes it. He even said if he needs help, he calls somebody, right? That's what you get being a part of AIME. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again, Jason. I hope everyone has an amazing week. We are here every Monday at noon Eastern in the Brokers Are Better Facebook group. If you're looking for some new tips or ideas, check out our YouTube page at AIME National. You'll see all our prior guests on our Grow and Get It. And we got Fuse coming up. So I look forward to seeing you at Fuse. National Mortgage Broker Day is also coming up. That'll be another one. That's close to you too, because you're in Virginia?
I'm in Maryland, but yeah, I'll be there.
Yes, good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again, everyone. I hope you have an amazing day. Hope you go out and grow and get it.